I'm going first. Not cool. Yeah, I'll just stick in this -2. I'm really happy to make one species into this, but I think that's all I'm going to do. I don't think that's a huge amount to sacrifice if someone else is going to end up playing a carnivore. Very chance at getting a little ahead, or at least even with people. We are still waiting for one player to connect to the game. It could just be a very slow phone. There we go, they've got a countdown timer now. So, assuming that this is a fat tissue, that's likely because they also played something low, so it doesn't really look good for my second species right now. Okay, again, the 3 body size carnivore, I don't get it. Everything was going to die anyway because we did actually go for the 0. This guy obviously just attacks one of mine, there's no point extincting himself into the horns. He extincted himself into the horns for no good reason, to attack a population that was going to die anyway and lose his species. That just seems like bad play. So I'm now like 1 card behind Abel. That's not too bad. I'm still going to put in a 0. I'm like pretty happy to be a tiny bit insane, make the intelligence and the foraging, assuming I can get to population on the foraging and still have a card left over. It's probably a bit dangerous. I'm probably just going to go for this. Maybe this, and I can use the defensive herding and aim to be able to eat one. Because I probably want the burrowing to defend at some point. We'll see what like this looks like, but I think this is probably going to be my best bet. This had better not just be another dumb carnivore, right? Like, they just made one. Would they make another one? Like, I have to assume maybe. Means I can't do this. I don't have enough defenses to actually save a species other than the defensive herding, and I'm not convinced putting it up is really worthwhile. So I'm just going to do nothing and hope this guy doesn't profit too much, because maybe it is just a fat tissue, but I'm unconvinced and don't really have the defenses to get a second species out. I'm not surprised that people who make bad carnivores keep making bad carnivores. Curious what they've put in for their food cards. So they went -1 the first round. Yep, that's pretty good with what they were doing. And in the second round, they put in a 4 when they needed none. So that's a bit crazy. So this time I've actually got a chance to get a burrowing functioning. Just one of them before Keir's turn. If I borrow an intelligence, I can get 2 of them functioning. So part of me like really does want to do like a bit of this. I need to save the card for the intelligence, which means I don't put the foraging up yet. Maybe I'll put the climbing in the middle though. Like this. So this is now 7. This can only reach a total of 6 body size, so that's actually overdoing it. He could have stopped here just at 2 body size. I imagine that's just cooperations. This seems good. I can use the burrowing for this intelligence. I can eat with this one. I don't think that's a carnivore. If it is, I think it's a pretty terrible carnivore. This can still get big enough to eat this, but it's going to be pretty painful. Okay, so this is a foraging without a population and an intelligence without a card. Okay, yep, that kind of makes sense. Corporation, fat tissue. Okay, so I need to use my intelligence first to save this one, and eat with this one so they are both burrowed. This guy's only big enough to eat this, so he's going to have to end up eating this. There's not actually enough food for me to eat on this one, which is a touch disappointing. Depends whether he wants to save this species or not, I guess. He does, which leaves me the food, which very generous. I wouldn't have done it. I would have just let this die, done this, let this die. It is at this point where I'm praying for a cooperation. That's 1 cooperation. I'll take it. It's not all the cooperations I want. I kind of want to keep the fat tissue just to put on this burrower, just for when I'm, later. But I'm definitely going to pump to 2 population, put on the foraging, put this in here. I think this is relatively safe compared to the climber, so I'm actually going to think about warning call there. But I'm not sure that I've got enough, that's not where the foraging goes, it goes here. If I put the cooperation there, I might just leave it like this, so on my turn I can eat without the card. But I have to eat on this and this, don't I? It's the one big problem putting them this way. If I'd thought more carefully, maybe I would have not put the climbing in the middle and figured I would actually need to save a burrowing. I went pretty low on the amount that's available. So maybe I can throw in the warning call and be okay. I'm just really hoping that he doesn't pull a climbing out for this. If he does, yeah, maybe I should do this. I can do this, I can intelligence here, I can eat here, everything's pretty safe. It's not ideal, but I think it's better than nothing, and maybe if my turn comes around again, I can also... Wait, what? He had a warning call there. Would he have replaced it with a warning call? Anyway, intelligence, eat, both burrowings are done. This is defended by climbing and warning call. I'm using the symbiosis on, not defending. Bit sad. So that could be ambush or climbing. Can't be both, so I'm feeling pretty safe if there's any food. Someone who just makes lots of carnivores. Not winning, but at least helping me out this time, because like all of these are just going to die. By all of them, I mean like those two, because they don't have any population to work with. Okay, it's kind of annoying that I do have to do this because of the insane carnivores, but I do. So you should definitely eat probably this, to be honest, just to stop it, make that go extinct. Even though I think extincting 2 species is maybe the better play, it just denies a bit of food by preventing that. I still get mine for my fat tissue, which is good. Yeah, the insane double carnivore does definitely show a fairly new player. Alright, we like scavengers. I also think I can put some body size here. Use the scavenger if he's gonna have to keep eating a bit. That's good. So put in just the one. One is one. One is not a very large number. This is already going to be full, so I'm strongly considering, as much as, you know, like, he's got ambushes, I don't need the warning call anymore. If I do something like this, if there's actually not food, okay. If there is, I will just nick 3 of it straight away and wait for the next turn, rather than using an intelligence. If he goes climbing, kind of bad for me. So maybe I'll just do this, see if I can take the tendencies of him not making population and just exploit them a little. Because there's 2 climbings up on the board. I don't really want to lose because I have a climbing here. I mean, this is dangerous. This is really dumb. If he just makes population, he can eat this. Assuming a climbing. This is the first time in the game he's actually added population. Playing against people who don't know what they're doing is hard. They're just 2 pack huntings, which is great for all of this crap, although he's still not big enough for this. He's big enough for this and this. Okay, so that's only 2. The important thing to note about that is that I do, in fact, need to use this. Which means I can't eat them both, which is very sad for me, because this is the only way I can keep all of those alive. So we'll do that. Then we'll eat one here, because that's the way this works. In an ideal world, where this is the board game, not the video game, I get to eat with this and then use intelligence here, just to deny the extra food from someone. But in this case, it's okay. I'm still getting okay food out of this. Because I did fill up here with this clever scavenger. These guys have all got long neck cooperations. Slightly annoying for me, I guess. Okay, so this round, this one cannot be full on this guy's turn. So that means I definitely want to work on having it have at least an extra population. I'll save putting population into this one for next turn. So, if I think there's going to be food when it gets to my turn, I should definitely increase the population of this. As well as push this up to there. And push this to there. And then I can hopefully eat once. I'm still not full if I do that, am I? Dang, okay. So we'll go with this. We anticipate that he eats it. I use intelligence once. Would be ideal, really, if I could use intelligence once and then eat once here anyway. But I don't know how much I trust there to actually be that much food. Everyone has been playing very, very low. I still played low. Maybe regretting that decision now. Oh, well, I mean, my other option is, like, I have a fucking climbing here. I can just do that. So this is the intention to eat 3. It's pretty loose. I don't think I'll do it. I think I'll just go with this. If there is 3, I'll eat them and still cost 1 card. This only has got 1 population. I think I can wait for next turn to explode these cards into something. I think that's fine. If there is 3, I eat them. If there is not 3, I intelligence. I think that's good either way. So this guy's just pumped this to 6 and let it die. That wasn't 6 before, was it? He actually made it easier for this guy to eat to save this species, I guess. It gets me my scavenger. There's only 8. I'm going to take 3. That means this guy's definitely not taking 7. But GG to who, Chenjimon? Chenjim0101 even. This guy's, yeah, he's losing a lot that he just put in there. But he's still, eating a decent amount here. He's got, 6 this turn to my 4. Yeah, the, long-neck corporations are doing him, pretty solid. Hopefully this is where I aim to get as much population as I safely can. If he manages to get some climbing on me, well, I guess I lose some. It's definitely a risk I take here. Two cards, 4 and 6. Yeah? There's a bit of food. I can take some. I can take 3, push for 7, or I can do 8, take 2. That's good enough. If I lose all of this to a climbing, I lose all of this to a climbing. Certainly used a few climbings, but it's also the final turn. They could have been dealt back out. Interesting. At any rate, a loss here is a loss mainly because of someone who played pretty poorly being able to eat me on the final turn, as opposed to being outplayed by Abel, I think. Because this is definitely a stronger final turn that I've got planned, even if I lose these 2. If I lose those 2, it's not that much stronger a final turn. 4, 4, 2, 4, 4, 1. Yeah, okay. I lied. Not exactly a stronger turn if I lose these 2. If I do not, it's only a marginally stronger turn, and he's still got all the traits. So, yeah. And it's only going to be 1 eat on this again, just on that. Anyway, he takes 2. He can't eat me, which means that I can take whatever I can with this. It will just be 2 though, so I'll just fill up right now. I'm really glad I got those 2. He didn't get those 2, which is possibly a main source of how I get to win here. He doesn't get these 2 either. So that's much better looking for me than if he'd kept them all alive. Don't know if I won. It could still be pretty close. It was still pretty close. But yeah, 49 to 45. Close stuff. Weird, crazy, unpredictable carnivore. Multi-carnivore. But yeah, that was a good game with Abel, I guess. Abel did pretty well. The other players, not so much.